Hello friends, welcome back to Gyan Academy, your go-to channel for real Power BI interview questions, tricky tax formulas, Power Query solutions, and practical data analytic tips that help you crack real-world jobs. Today, we are solving one of the most confusing tax interview question. What is the difference between filter, calculate, and calculate table? If you understand this, you understand 70% of tax. Let's solve it with simple logic. We have our data set here in which we have three columns. One is order date, the second is category, and the sales amount. Let us jump to the solution. So here is our simple total sales measure. So I will write as total sales is equal to sum of sales amount. Now we will create the most powerful function in DAX, which is calculate. So calculate I am using to find the sales of electronics. So I will name as electronics sales is equal to calculate into my expression. I am using total sales which I have already created, comma, sales of category is equal to electronics, and then I just simply close the bracket and say enter. Now here calculate changes the filter context. It says calculate total sales but only for electronics. Even if slicers or filters try to change, calculate will take control on it. Now think, what if we want more complex logic like this? For example, sales amount greater than 3000 and dynamic filter conditions for data level filtering. Then calculate alone is not enough. We need the filter function here. So let us create that measure. So I will say a new measure one more time. And here I'll name this as high value sales is equal to calculate into my expression similarly total sales, comma. Now here comes the exciting part, which is filter. I'm using into filter, it is asking me two parameters. One is table and then what is the expression. So my table is sales table, comma, and the expression is sales amount which we have in our table should be greater than 3000, and then close the bracket for filter, close the bracket for calculate. And here in this measure, filter returns a table internally. We are telling Power BI, go row by row, keep only those rows where sales amount is greater than 3000. Then calculate the total sales from that filter table. Instead of a value, we want a table as output. That's where calculate table comes in. Let us see how we can create that. I will go into table view, and now we will create a new table. I will call this as high sales table equal to, here I will use the function as calculate table, and calculate table is asking me the parameters. First is table and then the filters. So my table is sales table, comma. Now in filter part of calculate table, I want sales amount to be greater than 3000. Let me close this and check what we are getting. Now if you check this, it is clearly giving me this category whose sales amount is greater than 3000. So this is returning me a filter table. You can use it for advanced modeling, relationship logic, RLS, virtual tables, etc. Let us check these two measures. So firstly, I will drag electronic sales. I'll convert this into card visual, and then the filter measure also I will drag and convert this into a card visual. Now let us check with the slicer. I will create a slicer here, and into slicer I will add the category. Now we have three categories. One is clothing, one is electronics, and the last one is furniture. If I check clothing, you see there is a blank in filter, but the calculate what we have done for electronic sales is not updating, which means calculate is only returning the electronic sales. Even if you check the furniture, still this will not change. But here in filter, since furniture column has values greater than 3000, you are seeing here the values which are above 3000. In clothing, we don't have any values above 3000, so it is showing me blank. So here is a pro tip for you. Start with calculate. Use filter only when your logic needs row by row evaluation. If you finally understood the difference between calculate, filter and calculate table, hit like. If you are learning real world DAX every day with me, hit subscribe and share it with your analytic friends. This is Data Gyan Academy, building your DAX confidence one problem at a time. Thank you.